For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website betchriscanada.net.
You're listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast presented by betchriscanada.net. This is the Hockey Betting Preview for Monday, January 13th, 2020. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Hockey Betting Podcast, Brian Blessing.
All right, kids, here we go. Brand new week. The Hockey Betting Podcast, Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. Cam Stewart, he's got all of Canada covered for us. We're going to be doing this on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday now. So we're going to have opportunities throughout the course of the week to make sure we are able to preview the big days. Mostly Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays are the big days in the NHL. And let's go, man. I mean, nothing's changed. Listen, over the weekend, you and I talked Sunday morning.
Sure did. Great Sunday. Should have laid off the football and just bet hockey. We went 2-0, buddy. Nashville.
I actually had a good football weekend, I'm going to be honest.
Actually, I did okay. The problem was it was the total. You know what it was, Brian? That Houston game for me really screwed me up. But anyway, let's stick to hockey.
Yeah.
They couldn't even cover the teaser with a 24-0 lead. That's another story. Let's party.
But, well, let's go. And, and you and I talked Sunday morning, though.
Yeah.
I saw it. And the funny thing is, you threw it out there, and I was calling to tell you this. But Nashville was playing Winnipeg, and it was Winnipeg's first game home from a 4-game road trip. Now, it was nothing to write home about.
Nope.
But Nashville laying 20 cents gets the 1-0 win. These angles just continue, Cammy. And how about this? Talk about being brave. As bad as they've been going, let me tell you how god-awful Detroit is. Because
they're horrible.
I played the puck line. I played the puck line with the Sabres against Detroit.
It takes kahuna to take
you tell me
at the puck line, and you got it, buddy. I just took the money line.
Well, it was plus 240, and they threw Hutton out there Saturday. Say, well, Olmark finally got a rest, and they were without Anthony Ciu and Mantha.
Yeah, they're done.
Detroit had a decent period, but they got killed. They're a mess.
Oh, they're a total mess. Without those guys, too, who's going to score goals? It's basically Grand Rapids. So good call by you there, Brian. I just went with the Sabres in Nashville. It was a great day on Sunday there. Hopefully we can do the same thing today. Tricky little card for Monday night, but I think we could find something here.
Yep, Carolina's at Washington. We get the Caps, laying $1.40. And the total on this one is 6.5. I'm on the sidelines on this one, buddy, unless you got something you could talk me into.
No, I think people will blindly bet the over. I'm not sure about that. It's 6.5, and these 6.5s. Be careful, Brian. And I've been telling you, it's not happening all the time. All these guys, like I get the over. Like not every game's going to go over, guys. Like it's the thing, and I've been burned a few times too. It's just like we gotta, sometimes you have to reassess and see the situation and just not take. Like there's no guarantee there's 7 goals in this game. I've leaned to Washington. They haven't been playing their best hockey, Brian, at 40 cents, but Carolina's capable as a dog. I agree 100%. This is a stay-away game, but I think in the Battle of New York, I might have a side.
Yeah, but real quick on Carolina, 3 of the last 4 have gone under the total. So
maybe we take a shot with the under 6.5, but it's hard to do when you have offenses with Carolina and Washington, but I would lean under more than over in this game.
All right, basically we're looking at the Isles only 30 cents at the Rangers. The total is 6. What are you looking at?
I'm actually I'll tell you something. The Rangers burned me against St. Louis. I really thought it was a good spot for them that night. They didn't get it done. But I'll tell you, at home ice, rivalry, I like the way the Rangers are playing. The Islanders have kind of gotten their mojo back together too, Brian. I'm going to take a shot with the Rangers at plus 10 cents in this game. Also, usually you would look at under in these teams. When these teams get together, it goes over. There's hostility. There's penalties. That's the angle we're taking. I'm going to take the over 6, and I'm going to take the home team as a small dog. Give me the Rangers and over. I could see lots of penalties in this game, and the Islanders like to play unders, but not tonight. At 6, these books would have made this a 5.5. They made it a 6 for a reason. I'm going to take the over, buddy.
And I'll tell you, I think we know each other too well. which I'm perfectly content with because you're a wonderful, jovial soul.
Actually, you're a great guy, Brian. I gotta see what restaurant you like. I gotta buy you a gift for hooking us up in Vegas. You're a good man. I know a carton of Marlboros is coming your way. But continue.
Well, the funny thing is, I was gonna say the Islanders and the Rangers, you get a little plus price on that over. The Rangers, Cam, have gone over 7 of the last 8.
They're an over team. And the thing is, it's not really the bad goaltending. They're just playing an aggressive style right now. It's like, it's not sit back and wait, it's attack, and they've been burned. Like in the St. Louis game, basically it was counterattack. The Rangers had chances in that game, and St. Louis just pounced on them when the Rangers got close. It's just that's what happens in hockey. You pinch those defensemen, guys come in, boom. You got a 3-on-1 coming back the other way. I'm with you. The Rangers play overs now. Over is the game. I think the Islanders score, Rangers score. I see like a 5-4, 5-3 type of hockey game here. It's going over.
All right, buddy. Sometimes the number tells you something.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get off it. I'm going to go with it. I'm a little leery of the number. But Montreal's lost 7 of 8. And they're coming off a win, but it was against Ottawa.
In overtime.
Calgary's on a heater.
Yep.
They've won 5 in a row. They just beat their blood rival with Kachuk and Cassian in World War V.
Yep.
And Calgary's in first place. And how are they minus a nickel, minus a dime here? How is Calgary not a 35-cent favorite here?
I agree. Montreal's got injuries. I'll tell you something, though. I'm not falling for it. For me, it's Montreal or nothing. I've seen this movie too many times. I remember it was the game. It was like Colorado, Minnesota. We called it when we saw a trap line. And, you get burned when you bet these. Should Calgary win? Yes. Montreal, too. 6, I'd probably go over in this game, too. I don't want to just bet overs, but Calgary's been scoring goals. Montreal, they got problems everywhere on that team, but you know what? The line's telling you that they have a chance in this game. I'm probably going to lay off, but if I were to bet it, Brian, I like Montreal in this spot. I know it's insane. Calgary's hot, but this is just the type of letdown game, feeling good about yourself, beating your provincial rival. Now you go into Montreal, a team that's beaten down, and you lay an egg.
And then we wrap it up. Listen, St. Louis is a monster. Laying 220 against Anaheim, 5.5 under a quarter. I'm not laying 220, I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you one thing. This is probably interesting. Binnington started the other game. Allen's been better, but I know you, Brian, and maybe Anaheim, it's 5.5. Would you take a shot with the over? It's tough, though. It's very tough. You have to trust Anaheim to score a couple goals for it to go over, and I'm not sure if they're capable.
No, I mean, it's Gibson versus Binnington. You know what, Cam? Tuesday's coming real fast. Live to fight another day.
I agree. So the game of the night for us is probably the over in the Islanders-Rangers game. Like if I were to look at the board, that's what I'm betting.
I like that, and I you know what?
You like Boston?
No, I love you, buddy. I love you, buddy. But it ain't a love fest. I'm hard pressed to step in front of Calgary right now.
Okay.
I think I'm on the other side on that one. My problem
is, Brian, I'm so skeptical from the bad beats that happen in golf and football and stuff. Like when I see a weird line, I just like automatically, it's like
it's a weird line. I mean?
It's a very weird line. But we'll learn something. Let's make the Calgary Montreal game an experiment. Okay. We'll bet Calgary, but if Montreal wins and we see stuff like this, we're going the other way now, or laying off the game
But we concur on the over.
Smells fishy.
Concur on the over in the Islanders Rangers.
Yeah, we love the Islanders game. Yeah, you got an opinion on Boston Philly? Philly plays good at home. That's the one thing.
Philly is very, very good at home.
Boston they came back. They beat the Islanders in overtime. I really want to. I want to take Philadelphia in this spot. It's hard to say I'm taking the Philadelphia Flyers at plus 20 cents against the Boston Bruins, but Philly's good at home. That might make the card, but Islanders Rangers over is where it's at for me if I had one play.
Philly's coming off the 1-0 loss to Tampa Bay. Talk about a mini gauntlet here. Yikes.
I know.
They just got home and they get Washington.
I got to be honest with you. They've been brutal. Like the schedule maker hates the Flyers. I don't know what the hell this team did to anybody, but it's ridiculous.
I know. But we by the way, on Thursday's podcast, we nailed this one because, the Philly came home from the long road trip, but they played back-to-back nights. And we said, if that first game home thing. They literally went home with the bet and played a hockey game. But then really the first game home for them where they get settled in with the off-ice stuff and get their life in order was the next game, and they lost to Tampa, albeit it's Tampa.
It is Tampa. They still played well, and when they came back, the whole world was on Washington, and Philadelphia won that night. They're a very weird team. They're one of the teams that don't really play to patterns, Brian, as much as others, but I might take a shot with Philadelphia tonight. I can tell you one thing. I'm not laying 40 cents with Boston.
No, you know what? It's only 5.5. I mean, if I were forced to, I think I'd take a little kick at the over.
Yeah, I lean over in the game, too. It's funny, like we talked about, not trying to chase overs. Carolina, Washington at 6.5. I lean under. I'm probably not going to bet it. I think that's the game that kind of fools everybody, and I love the over in the Islanders-Rangers game at 6.
All right. Maybe ride this until it ends. Let's go to Tuesday.
Okay.
And we start with Vegas at Buffalo. And
Vegas is horrible. Actually, this team's going to put me in the poorhouse because I put them in parlays. And I'm right, Brian. You warned me, but that Columbus game, I thought they'd bounce back that game, and they lose 3-0. Where's the offense? Where's the goaltending? What the hell's happening with these guys?
Well, I tell you, the funny thing is, Cam, you pay attention to this and you ride things for a little bit. And honestly, I would have thought Vegas, because they're going to be gone now until February 8th, and they were coming off, 2 brutal games, and nothing. I mean, there's nothing going on there. But I will tell you, what I did? And sometimes it's, it's like, what am I missing? This is why I love betting hockey, because I think there are chinks in the armor and soft in odd numbers. And talk about just not paying attention to what was going on. Cam, they played the Blues. They were down 3-0 and came back and won 5-4. All right, they were down 3-0.
I bet the live in that game at like almost 5-1. It was great.
All right, well, wait a minute now. So then they go play Pittsburgh, and they're down 3-0 after one, come roaring back in the second, fall short.
Exactly.
Then they play the Kings, and they get booed off the ice. And the funny thing is, the people, it's kind of the newbies here.
Yeah.
After 2.5 years, you can't boo these guys. And I'm on Twitter going, what do you mean? What are you talking about? The coach was booing. And I said, if you're going to sit there, you're going to sit there and raise pom-poms up when these guys are down 4-0 after one to a crummy hockey team, then that's going to become accepted behavior. That's insane. You can't boo the whole team. Well, and they got killed 5-2 by the Kings. So, Cam, it comes to the Columbus game. Now, what did I just say? They were down 3-0 after one, 4-0 after one. I'm sorry, 3-0, 3-0, 4-0 after one.
Yes.
In 3 consecutive games. I'm like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I played Columbus plus $1.75 in the first period, and they're up 1-0 after one. I mean, I thought Vegas could come back and win the game, but Vegas is squeezing the stick so tight tomorrow night. Until they buck the trend, play Buffalo in the first period.
Yeah, I tell you one thing: Vegas isn't getting my money till I see something different. It's a real problem right now. And I'll tell you one thing about Buffalo. Sure, they beat Detroit, but that Vancouver game, you saw it, Brian Hutton was in the net there. It was defensive breakdowns all over the place. And I got to tell you, I'd probably look it over in this game because Buffalo is going to score on Vegas. The way Vegas is playing right now, I'm almost looking Sabres right now.
Yeah.
You can't take Vegas. What are they going to be? What do you think they're going to be in this game?
Oh, no, sitting here, Vegas is $1.35 on the road.
See, now the books have gone. That used to be about $1.60, $1.70. They know how bad this team's playing. That's a short price.
And again, Buffalo's 13-6-3 at home. And I think the game they played, they killed them last year. And Buffalo gets killed in Vegas, but beats Vegas and Buffalo. That's what's happened at least the first couple of years.
I'll tell you one thing. The Leafs got absolutely throttled against Florida. Coach said basically they needed that slap in the face. Devils have been playing great, but I'll tell you something. That game's the over game because I'll tell you, they're going to be angry as hell. Toronto's giving up goals, scoring goals. The Devils are playing better. Over.
Over
parlay.
And Shiro gets fired.
Yep.
The GM in Jersey. By the way, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I just sat back. I'm like, I'm not arguing with any of these people. And I got a buddy, he just wants to shoot holes in the guy. He doesn't like Russian guys. That's about the bottom. And, because like the Vegas didn't sign Gusev. And then
Vegas,
in Vegas, when they kicked him out the door, always slow. Oh, really? Then why did you bring him over from the KHL and thought about playing him in the playoffs? So anyway, they justified it. Well, first of all, Jersey's a hound's breakfast. They got no goaltending. The thing's a mess. You got the MVP of 2 years ago trying to get the hell out of there. So the thing's been a complete unmitigated disaster. And here's Gusev's first kick of the can playing the NHL in his first go-round. Nobody was doing anything. Subban is a disaster. Well, oh, by the way, Gusev now has 19 points in his last 22 games. So everybody that wanted to just throw this guy off a cliff, it's like, please, the guy's a hockey player, for God's sake.
You're right. You're right. Like, you know what I mean? He starts off slow, and we got to give him some credit. I will say this, though, Brian. This New Jersey team is unbelievable. The things they do, the teams they beat. They beat Washington 4-1, and they beat Tampa Bay 3-1. Then they'll go lose 7-2 to some slugs. Like, you know what I mean? They'll play Anaheim and lose. Like, they're a weird-ass team, but I'll tell you, they're playing a lot better these days. So I find it interesting, though. The only reason I would take the over with the Leafs in that game is the way the Leafs got handed it. They got fed their breakfast by the Florida Panthers. Basically kicked the living crap out of them. That was old school.
No, wait a second, buddy. I got to ask you seriously. Well, first of all, when would you ever look at a Leafs game and say, I'm playing the under?
Exactly. They don't play any defense.
Seriously.
And another thing that we'll tell the people, if you don't watch Leaf games, I do. Frederik Andersen is probably playing the worst hockey of his life right now. The guy's it's not his fault, but he can't feel it right now. It happened. Well, it happens to Marc-Andre Fleury. Exactly. And Hutchison's had a couple of good games, but you can't totally trust him. Guy's had a couple of good games in his career. Big deal.
You want me to seal the deal for you?
Yeah.
Louis Domingue.
Oh, Domingue's playing? The funny thing about Domingue is he played great the last. Was he the guy who beat Tampa Bay? Domingue played that game.
Okay,
did he not?
A broken clock's right twice a day.
I know. Oh, no, Louis Domingue, he gave up 5 versus the Sabres that night on Sabres-Canucks night when they came into the league and they did the documentary. I remember the Buffalo Sabres just beat the living piss out of Domingue was horrible. He looked like literally a kid playing that night. It was awful. So you're right. He can figure it out once in a while. He's still a pro, but
his favorite
not a good one.
Louis Domingue's favorite off-ice activities go bowling in the 7-10 split all the time because that's what the 5-hole looks like.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty big. Yeah, no, you got to take you want to talk about a game that they might make 7? This one. That's the games, or 6.5 to the over.
We'd like to thank BetChrisCanada.net for their support of the Hockey Betting Podcast. I'm Brian Blessing in sunny Las Vegas.
And I'm Cam Stewart in cold Toronto, Canada.
If you love hockey and you're in Canada, and Cam is, by the All-Star break, even if you can't stop thinking about taking a vacation someplace sunny and warm, but you don't want to miss out on any of the hockey action, look for a BetChris near your next holiday destination.
BetChris is one of the leading sports books in the Western Hemisphere, with hundreds of sports betting locations throughout the Caribbean and Latin America.
Watch the game at a BetChris location. Food and drink specials and VIP lounges are available at many BetChris locations. Use the promo code PODCAST when you open your BetChris account.
Place some bets on your game and collect your cash at the window when the game is over.
BetChris offers single bets, parlay bets, teasers, and more on pregame and live odds for hockey and all your favorite Canadian and American sports leagues. And BetChris offers a variety of team and player props, including futures.
BetChris offers the best value odds on Canadian and international sports. Use the promo code PODCAST when you open up your account at a BetChris location. Deposit $750 or more and get up to a 40% reduced commission on your sports bets, up to -106 on single bets and parlay bets. That's the best juice in the biz.
So, if you're planning a trip to exotic locations from the Caribbean and Mexico to Peru and almost everywhere in between, the odds are very good. There's a BetChris Sportsbook where you're going on holiday. For more information about visiting a BetChris location while you're on holiday or to listen to or subscribe to the Hockey Betting Podcast, visit BetChrisCanada.net. That's BetChrisCanada.net. Cam, you're Canadian. When you leave Canada and you're heading south, use the promo code PODCAST. Buddy, I think I'm going from memory here, and I think I'm right. Hold on. All right, if you want to step in front of a bus, it's only a 3-game trip.
Yep.
but you got Pittsburgh coming home after beating Vegas, Colorado, and Arizona.
Yeah, I'm on. Are we going wild?
I think we are.
I have to. And you know what? And
I like
a perfect situation. The world loves Pittsburgh. Like I do betting shows with guys. Oh, the Penguins, they are playing great. Let's give the Penguins full marks. Without Jake Gunsel and Sidney Crosby and all this stuff, you're playing this good. It is unbelievable. Jari's been good. They're actually getting goaltending from him and Murray. They got guys hurt. They play great, but this is a perfect situation. The whole world's going to go, Pittsburgh's hot back at home. Now, this is where we get off the train and take the Wild at a nice price. I'm with you.
Yeah, I take
that's going to be our Pucho of the night, Minnesota.
Bark away, baby. Bark, bark, bark. Cam's going wild.
Yeah, that's the dog wanting a salami. Go to see the butcher. But anyway, we're going wild with Minnesota. We're going to get a nice price on that game too. And I got to be honest with you, I hope Stalock starts. He's pretty good. Like when I watch Stalock play, I'm like, there's no difference between Stalock and Dubnyk to me. They're both the same. So we'll take Minnesota, Brian.
I'm not going anywhere near laying. Well, the question is, would you swing? Would you Babe Ruth it, point to center field, and swing for the fences with the Kings plus 260 at Tampa, or just stay the hell away from it?
I kind of want to take the Kings. I don't know what's up with this team, but they're playing damn good hockey. Problem is the Lightning coming off a bad loss. They usually don't put bad performances together. I can't do it yet, but I'll tell you one thing. I won't be putting the Lightning in any money line parlays and stuff like that, thinking it's an automatic win. The Kings are a weird hockey team, buddy. I think that's a stay away game.
All right, kid. You're going to – wow, I'll tell you, though, this number may come down. Boston is like $1.40 at Columbus because Boston is playing tonight. And
if Boston loses tonight, I'll go to them.
Well, Cam, it's been an ATM machine. It's Columbus' first game home after a 4-game road trip on the West Coast.
Yeah.
I mean, that totally mitigates the back-to-back nights. And the thing is, for a team like Boston, back-to-back nights is not that big a deal because you've got Rask and Halak.
Exactly. And another thing, though, if they lose, by the time we're taping the show, if they lose to Philadelphia, I'll like Boston even more against Columbus. I'll be definitely smashing that game because they win one of those games. And if they lose to Philly, they go into Columbus and beat down the Blue Jackets. I like it.
Back-to-back nights, Islanders 275 against the Red Wings, totals 5.5. And we just told you how bad Detroit is.
Detroit's horrible. To me, it's Islanders parlayed or puck line. Like,
you'd have to puck line enough.
Can Detroit show up? Probably lots of goals in the game too. Detroit's horrible. I like that puck line parlay. Islanders.
Chicago and Ottawa, Cammy.
I like Ottawa here. I think I'm going to find my spot with Ottawa. Chicago, they're playing better. I get it, but Ottawa, they lost that game to Montreal, but they're a gritty team, Brian. And I kind of lean Ottawa in this spot. I know what you'd like, and I think it's the play too. Over.
No, honestly, I'm not.
You're not feeling it anymore because actually Ottawa last game versus Montreal too. They've been playing more to the under. They used to be an over machine.
I was gonna say I was kind of leaning under, but
no, interesting. Okay, no, I can buy into that. I was just thinking without the def, but both of these teams have kind of settled down a little bit. But even with the injuries, 6.5, you're going under.
All right, then
we got to take Winnipeg, right? In a bounce back?
And here's why.
I'll lay the price against Vancouver.
Vancouver, man, they're rugged in their own end. Pettersson's, they got some nice players, but you know what it is, Cam? You got Winnipeg, that first game home. We said tough game to play, so now they're home, they're settled in, and they're coming off a loss. But you know what it is? You have Vancouver that was at Tampa, at Florida, at Buffalo, at Minnesota, at Winnipeg. Their brains on the plane, man. They want to get the hell home.
I agree. I like Winnipeg in that spot. The other games are a little bit tougher. I don't know what to do. Dallas, Colorado, that's a tough one. What do you think about Nashville, Edmonton?
I think Nashville has a chance.
I do too.
After the shakeup to go on a heater here. That's a pretty, Poyle is always one to swing for the fences, make a trade deadline deal, has a good read on his team, and he made the read that Laviolette had to go.
I like it. I like the move. I think the players are tuning Laviolette out. They got a lot of young guys who are just like, shut up. You know what it is, Brian? and we're old school guys, but it doesn't work with today's athlete. When you're making millions and millions of dollars and you got some coach barking at you, it's like, listen, shut up. I'm rich. It's just a different world we're living in right now. You can't do the things you used to do to players. There's no intimidation factor. They're all rich, even in the National Hockey League. It's not just baseball, basketball, and football. These guys make cake too, and it's just a different world that we're living in. This old school military approach, and it gets tired after a while. So I think it's a good move that they got rid of Laviolette.
Yeah, and I like Nashville, laying about the 15 to 20 cents. And oh, by the way, Edmonton's coming off a civil war.
Yeah, I kind of lean Nashville in that spot, too. And I'll tell you one thing about the Oilers. Despite McDavid being the best, this team will let you down a lot. They're a hard team to take at home. They try to get too fancy, too. I prefer to take Edmonton, I've learned, Brian, as a dog on the road. Like they won in Boston. They play like a more disciplined game at home. They try to, entertain, and in the NHL, it's a recipe for disaster. I lean Nashville, too.
All right, my brother. We move on. Got a couple left for you with San Jose at Arizona. Arizona's laying $1.43, 5.5 to the under.
I don't know. I do not have an opinion of this game. I would like to take Arizona. Like they got to figure it out soon, Brian, but a little bit scary. They haven't been playing very good hockey. They've been good to us early, but recently, no. The Arizona Coyotes, they got a 3-game losing streak cooking. They haven't looked good in about 4 or 5 games, in my opinion. After that, Florida, they played well. Other than that, they've been horrible. Got shut out by Tampa Bay, shut out by Carolina, shootout loss to Pittsburgh, but this is a nice bounce-back spot against S.J. Sharkey. Oh,
you know what, buddy?
I think I'm going with the pack. Arizona Coyotes.
Well, you know what about them? Hey, Cam, if you just go and you analyze their schedule, they win 4 in a row, then they lose 4
in a row. They win 4 in a row. Yeah, you're right. So
they go on heaters or benders.
Is there bender over? I'm hoping, and they start a new heater.
All right. Well, let me throw this. Let me throw this at you. Are they dead and buried? San Jose is a game below 500. They've been a mess.
They suck.
Well, you know what, buddy? It's funny. Like I'm watching the stuff around here. Like
I told you at the start of the year too. Like you make the best predictions ever, but we were worried about this team, and they're worse than we even like. They still have good players on the team. Jones sucks. Dell Computers is actually playing better when they put him as the backup goalie, and I have no faith with Kane. He'll score once in a blue moon. I don't like the chemistry of their team. There's not to like a lot to like about San Jose. Their window has closed.
Well, let me just throw this at you.
Okay.
I'm watching the local TV stuff last night.
Yeah.
In Calgary and Arizona have 55 points. Vancouver and Vegas have 54 points. So they put up a graphic, 1-1-2-2, and they go, Vegas is tied for second. I'm like, no, they're not. They're in 4th place.
Yeah.
First of all, there's 2 teams tied for first. Then it would be 2 teams tied for third.
It's like a golf tournament.
But
figure it out.
Vegas has the least amount of regulation wins. They're in 4th place.
Yeah, you got some real stooges, Gary Graphics at the local station.
I'm like, yeah, but they're reading it off like it's fact. I'm like, kids, you're not in the game.
You guys, you obviously don't know what's going on. But
but the point is, this whole division, it's just they throw a blanket over it.
Yeah, I know.
Edmonton Vancouver had the big winning streak, and now they're going the other way. Vegas, had the big 7-game homestand, started great, and then they fall off the map. Now Calgary's got the heater. Arizona wins or loses. Edmonton is like up and down, in and out. Yep. I'm just telling you, and the only reason I throw it out, and I know how bad it's been, but you're still, and I know it's been bad, but you're still throwing. Now, Couture being hurt doesn't help. But you're throwing Carlson and Burns, and there are guys there.
I don't care.
I know they're a game below 500, Cam. I'm telling you, if all they have to do, the way this division is, if they go 6-4 in the final 4 10-game segments, 2 games over 500, they'll make the playoffs. This division's terrible.
It is, but Arizona knows they can't screw around either, and they haven't been playing their best hockey. They're a younger, better team at home. I'll lay the points. I don't trust the Sharks, Brian. Could they win this game? Yes, but I'm on Arizona.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't so much talking about.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you're saying. Like
I'm just saying, it's crazy. I would not. I know it's been an atrocity there, but. I don't know, man. I just think I still think there's enough talent there, and in this division, I'm not burying them just yet.
I am. Martin Jones too, an .890 save percentage, goals against of .319 in today's era. Like this guy doesn't get it done.
Well,
His
Dell
save percentage,
Computer's the guy.
.890. Come on. You like Dell? I like Dell Computers better. I think they should start him more. And Jones gags in the playoffs too. He'll have one wicked game where he stands on his head, then he can't stop a beach ball, as you would say, Brian. He's too erratic.
All right, but hey, listen.
More to the bad.
When we say this is a marathon, not a sprint, and it doesn't matter who the teams are, good teams, bad teams, situations that arise, and just history repeats itself. I mean, how about Colorado on a 3-game losing streak? Losing to the Islanders, Rangers, and Penguins, and there's Colorado. First game home from the road trip, and Pittsburgh beats them. The same stuff happens, Cam, every day.
You're absolutely right. I'll tell you one thing, though. After these losses, you lose to the Islanders 1-0, 5-3 to the Rangers. That was a bad game. They lose to Pittsburgh in overtime. They're going to be angry. Watch out, Dallas. You might get your ass kicked. If these guys come to play, Colorado's the play. I don't like the late Jews, but the Stars might be.
I think I may have said this before. And if you're a Stars fan, I apologize. I'm not trying to be mean. It was just me. I hate watching them play.
So do I.
It's awful.
It's right. No, they're one of the Dallas Stars are probably the worst team in the NHL.
It's not entertaining.
No, it's not. Like I'd rather watch the Devils.
Matters is win, and I get it.
That's their style.
You got to do what you got to do. But I mean, honestly, it's like, hey, Dallas is on TV. Yeah, so's the 700 Club.
You'd rather watch the 700 Club. Yeah, I know. The Stars are boring. But anyway.
Colorado?
Yeah, probably be taking. Yes, Colorado will be played.
Yeah.
I'll parlay it, though. I don't want to lay the juice. All
right, buddy. I think you're right, man. I mean, slowly but surely. And, what are we now? I guess, about 5 weeks from trade deadline?
Yeah, was it? Yeah, about 5. Yeah, so things are going to, I tell your team, they've already gone out open publicly. We need a defenseman. The Leafs need like 3 defensemen, and we'll see that it's going to, and they're going to be hard guys to get. If these teams want to pluck some of these guys, they're going to have to give up a hell of a lot more. That's why some teams just shy away from the trade deadline because the price goes up, Brian. We'll see.
The next month's going to, the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see buyers, sellers.
They're going to determine buyers and sellers.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen here.
You got it, brother.
All right, buddy. He's Cam Stewart. I'm Brian Blessing, and it is the Hockey Betting Podcast. We'll be back with you again on Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week. Cool time of year. And then we do get the All-Star break, Cam, where they'll be shooting wrist shots off.
Yeah. Justin Bieber versus Binnington.
Oh,
can't wait. You know what? Shut up.
Please.
They got to change the All-Star weekend. They got to. I don't know. Maybe me and you could come up with a new concept on the next show, but it's wearing out pretty thin. It's embarrassing.
Well, they could make an addendum to this. Could they have it that Bieber does the breakaway, and then as he peels away, Conor McGregor's over in the corner and just takes it. Who's he going to fight? Oh, Tom Cruise. Yeah. Tom Cruise he was going to fight.
That's right. Bieber versus Cruise?
Yeah. Why not?
It's a train wreck there. But anyway, and that's the thing, too. Like, hockey's getting a lot of momentum. These guys in charge, you got to think about the future, fellas. We've already talked about the 3-on-3 overtime. It should be a must, but any turkey can make, blah, 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 blah. We're going to get on the plane late. Like, what? You know what? You want this game to be real. People are betting it now. There's things that need to be fixed, but it's a great game. But I wish me and you worked for the league because things would change. Definitely.
Now, if I did, I would every day. They would do it just to shut me up because I'd be like, I'd be like Jim Carrey in the truck in Dumb and Dumber. Hey, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? I'd just be walking around the NHL league office doing that. Okay, until I'm going to do that until you take a
Daly and Bettman. Let's get this blessed.
Until you take a mallet to the conference trophies.
Oh yes,
I'm telling you, if you wanted to blow this thing up from a popularity perspective, I don't care what they say. They stopped doing this eons ago because of the media. I'm telling you. You get sick and tired of the Penguins playing the Caps every year and Vegas playing. It's like, look, play 1 versus 16. when you're in the Western Conference, you get to see Sidney Crosby once. Well, he's injured. They didn't get to see him.
Zero.
Could you imagine a first-round playoff series, Fleury against the Penguins?
Yeah, it'd be awesome. No, I agree with you 100%.
Toronto.
Yep.
Send them to Toronto, Arizona, or something.
You think I want to see Boston again? Like I'm like it's like, come on, guys. Like, we've seen this movie before. Exactly. You've seen the movie with the Sharks too many times. Enough is enough.
I don't know, Cam. To me, it's not rocket science. I mean, I just think it'd be fresh. You get some, and you get new rivalries, and I think you juice up every market if they saw somebody different. I don't think it's that big a deal. I mean, when they travel, there's a day off. They all have private.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's not like they're going on coaches or whatever anymore. You got a day off. If you have to play some other team, I get it. You don't want to see Vegas doesn't want to see San Jose, SJ Sharkey anymore. I don't want to see Boston anymore. It needs to change, and they do something effective. I think the league would grow popularity, but I don't think it's going to happen, buddy. We're not in charge.
Well, and you know how goofball this thing is, honestly. Well, you're sitting there like in the Pacific. And I think you're better served if you're in the Pacific Division is to finish second or third.
Yes,
because if you win the division, you're probably going to play a Winnipeg or a Nashville
that just squeaked in, and they're lethal as hell.
No, that's playing playoff hockey to get in there.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
You're probably better positioned to be second or third, and then my first two series are against the division.
Exactly.
Don't give anybody a chance to plot a course. Just play it out. 1 versus 16. Let's see who the hell they play.
You got it, buddy. That's it. I know it's the right way to go. Unfortunately, the brain trust there, it'll never happen.
No, it won't.
Exactly.
I was speechless for a moment because with you and me together, I don't know that the word brain trust ever collided in a sentence. It threw me for a loop.
Yeah. No, you bring up good points.
He's the man, Cam Stewart. I'm Brian Blessing, the Hockey Betting Podcast for you on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
You've been listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast, presented by BetChrisCanada.net.
For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website, BetChrisCanada.net.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and/or interpersonal relationships. At BetChrisCanada.net and the Hockey Betting Podcast, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling, and do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.